A lot of people wonder and ask me, what would I do if I got the thing? the thing that's like a flu, but maybe not. Okay. And I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to get censored. I want to be able to share this lesson freely on any kind of platform. So I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to call it the thing. And hopefully I'll remember to do that and I won't slip. But um, first of all, I think the most important thing is to not fear. That's the most important thing. There's a wise Hasidic rabbi by the name of Nachman of Breslov, Rabbi Nachman, and he said that life is a very narrow bridge, but the most important thing is not to be afraid. And that's the same here. God holds our lives in our hands. And if it's our time to leave this earth, only He controls that, not some microscopic thing, not any sickness or illness that we will face, but only God alone knows when it is our time to go. Only He controls that. Now, given that we should fear nothing but God, let's move on, okay? Second thing that we should know is that we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And the Creator made our bodies to be self-healing. When a plant is sick, the gardener does not give it drugs. Okay, most gardeners don't. I don't know any gardeners that do anyways. What do they check for? They check for, is the plant getting proper sunlight? Is it getting adequate water? And is it getting the right kind of nutrients or fertilizer? And it's the same thing with us. We are very much a part of God's creation, and the design that He put into making our bodies is even more wonderful and fearful than how He created the plants. Okay. So, number one, don't fear. Number two, remember that God made our bodies to be self-healing. Number three, I read this on the CDC website myself. I believe it was last year. If you get a positive test for the thing, the CDC website said that it could mean that you have the thing, or you could have not the exact thing, the number 19 of that thing, but you could have a different strain of the thing, one of the older strains that have been around before that number 19 thing. Or it also said that you could have any flu virus. And it also said that if you test positive for the thing, the number 19 thing, that that you may not have anything at all. You may not. So basically, it's saying that if you get a positive test, don't worry. It doesn't mean that you have the thing. And even if you had the thing, God is in control. Now, the next thing that is very important that I believe everyone should know is that if you notice when you do get sick with like a cold or a flu or something like that, that your body doesn't want to eat very much. It naturally asks you to fast. And that's one of the best things that you can do when you're sick, especially with this kind of sickness, with a cold or a flu, is that you should stop eating. Why? Because it takes a lot of resources from your body, from yourself, from your immune system to digest and process and assimilate food. And so when you don't eat, it can focus, instead of focusing on digesting food and assimilating food and processing food that you're eating, it can focus on healing your body. And that is part of the intelligent design of God and how He made us. So we should stop eating. But what we do need to do is we need to drink. We need to drink because good drinks, not just any drinks, no sodas, But good drinks, now I'll talk about what good drinks are. They are cleansing for our body. And certain kinds of drinks will give our body the nutrients it needs without taxing it greatly with the digestive process. So what do we drink? Okay, so as a naturopathic herbalist who never goes to standard medical doctors, never goes to hospitals, never takes antibiotics, never takes her children to doctors or hospitals, what do we do? It's not like we don't get sick. I never said that we don't get sick. We get sick just like everyone else, but we know how to treat everything holistically and naturally, and we never fear. And so one of the things that we do is I don't force my children to eat, but I make sure that they start drinking. And one of the easiest things to keep on hand always is herbal teas. What kind of herbal teas? Well, echinacea and elderberry, because they're excellent for the immune system. So echinacea tea, elderberry tea. Another one that's good is ginger tea, or even combinations of these. Ginger tea, turmeric tea. We have one that's a combination of ginger and turmeric. And then adding freshly squeezed lemon juice to the teas is also very good and alkalinizing. And then we also drink white tea and green tea because they are very high in antioxidants, which is another excellent immune booster. So all those teas. And also another thing about these teas that's really great is that my children will drink it. You know, there's a lot of natural remedies. Like for example, garlic is a very powerful antibiotic, and that's something that my husband will do. He'll crush some raw garlic, and he'll swallow it, or he'll maybe blend it with a little bit of orange juice or something like that, and just sip it down. But children, it's really hard to get little children to just consume raw garlic. I'll do it. My husband will do it. My teenagers will do it, but not my little kids. But all of my children will drink tea. And then we also put raw manuka honey. And I don't worry about the strength. I know that, a certain potency is good. But if we just get ours from Trader Joe's and Costco, and it's better than nothing. Even if it doesn't have a certain potency, even if it's just regular honey, it still has antibiotic and antiviral properties, just as long as it's raw honey. Manuka honey, if you have it, and it's something that keeps very well. So I'd always have manuka honey and various herbal teas on stock. Now, the next thing that I try to get my family to do, especially if they're children, I'm focusing on certain things that you can get children to do as well, because that's very important for me. There's a lot of various, holistic and natural remedies that one can do that will be effective, but how many are children willing to take? So the next thing that we do is I try to make sure that everyone gets a boost of some very important vitamins, and one of the first ones is vitamin D. Now, the best way to get vitamin D is naturally through the sunshine. So I will ask them, if the weather's not too cold, to just go out in the sun. They may feel bad, but I'll say, just lay out in the sun, get a chair and sunbathe for a while. And so not long enough for them to get burned, of course, just enough. Now, there's a lot of hype and propaganda against sunshine and sunbathing, but those things are really keeping the population vitamin deficient, which is very bad for our immune system. It's very deadly to be vitamin D deficient. Okay. And no, we don't use sunblock when we're out there only for, don't be out there long enough to get sunburn, just, long enough so that you can absorb some sunshine. How long? That really depends on how dark you are. And so I try to get my children to stay out there as long as they can stand it, depending on the weather. If it's too hot or too cold, they'll want to come in. after a certain period of time. And also, not so long that they'll burn. And so the lighter skin you have, the less you can be out there. And that's natural and that's good. And that is the correct way to time yourself out in the sun. And then the darker you are, the more sun that you can stand, the more you need to be out there in order to get your adequate supply of vitamin D. Okay. But besides going outside to absorb sunlight for vitamin D production, I also give my family vitamin D supplements. Now, for me, when I get sick with a cold or a flu or any that kind of sickness, I will take 50,000 IU of vitamin D every day for 3 days. That sounds high, but that's not the highest I've heard. I've heard one medical doctor who practices orthomolecular medicine. He recommends 250,000 IU of vitamin D every day for 3 days. I've never gone that high. For me, 50,000 is very good, but I also supplement with vitamin D on a daily basis. So, I don't know how much you need, but I know that a lot of people take at least 50,000 IU vitamin D every day for 3 days when they get sick. And so I adjust that for my children depending on their weight. So, my daughter, my 15-year-old daughter, she's, maybe she's more than half my weight, but I'll give her just half of that dose. And then for my other children, I will adjust that accordingly, depending on their weight as well. Okay, so there's that. There's the vitamin D. It's very, very important. So what kind of vitamin D do we take? Well, I take a brand that has vitamin D and K mixed together, because you need vitamin D and K together, especially if you're taking high dose vitamin D. It's important to also take it with K. For the children, I give them drops that I get from Sprouts, and I think that's only vitamin D, so you have to get vitamin K separately. And I will have the links to everything that I'm talking about, where you can buy it online and whatnot, and the notes for all the teas and stuff like that. I'll put this on my blog at arukah.com, arukah.com/blog/flu. I'll put it under /flu. Okay. Now, the next important vitamin that I give my family is vitamin C. Okay. And we also take high dose vitamin C when we're sick. Actually, anytime there's even a little bit, like if they're coughing or if someone we know that is sick and comes to visit our house, or we go to visit them, or we go out and someone that we've been spending time with is coughing a lot or anything, I'll tell my children to just take vitamin C, whether they have symptoms or not. And certainly if they have any kind of symptoms, coughing or a runny nose or anything like that, we also start taking the vitamin C. For as long as they have symptoms, as long as we have symptoms, we are taking vitamin C hourly, if we can remember, if possible. How much vitamin C? I take 2,000 to 3,000 milligrams of vitamin C every hour until I feel better. Now, sometimes I forget. And so if I forget, then when I remember, I'll take it again, but usually if I'm taking it every hour, the symptoms go away after 2, 3, 4 doses, and then it goes away. And then it might come back at night, and then I'll start taking the vitamin C again. The kind of vitamin C is liposomal vitamin C, because normal vitamin C has a half-life of half an hour. And so it goes away from your system very quickly. But when it's in liposomal form, it lasts much longer. So it gives you protection much longer. So the liposomal vitamin C that I take is a pill. And sometimes little children, they will not swallow pills. So when it comes to little children, I just give them the chewable vitamin C. and knowing that it will go away very, very soon, a lot quicker. And just have them, take it more often. And the kind that I get one from Sprouts and also from Trader Joe's. It's 500 milligrams of vitamin C, and I'll just have them take it, every hour or half hour. If you can get them to consume something fatty, like coconut oil, you could do, if they'll drink a little bit of coconut oil with their hot tea, you can give them the fat to make, as they're, so have them take the vitamin C along with a hot tea that also has a little bit of coconut oil. So then the combination becomes liposomal because you're delivering the vitamin C to your body with some fat, okay, with some your own fat, the coconut oil. Olive oil is also good. Just whatever you can make them, consume. A good fat, a healthy fat. Olive oil, coconut oil. If you do olive oil, you could do it, maybe with a piece of lettuce, that's really easy to digest. Soak it in a little bit of olive oil and have them take it with that. And again, we do the hourly vitamin C. And for the children, if they're not taking liposomal, you could do it every half hour or so. Do it more often. Now, if they do get hungry, or if they want any kind of nutrition besides the teas, and of course, good water, and water needs to be filtered water. Get a Berkey or reverse osmosis filter. Don't drink regular tap water. It's got a lot of bad things in it. Okay, holistic people do not drink tap water. But besides the teas and the drinks, if I want to give my children more nutrients, then we will juice. What's one thing that we do? We'll juice carrots and beets and celery and cucumbers, and then sometimes we will blend it with some power greens, like kale and spinach and chard and stuff like that. And if you mix it with, also if you juice some apples with that too, it's actually very tasty because it can be very sweet from the carrots and the apple juice, and all the enzymes and other the other things that are in those raw fruits and vegetables are very nutritious. They're light because you're just juicing it. With the greens, you can juice it if you have a good green juicer, but most juicers do not extract the nutrients from leafy greens very well. So we just blend it. We blend the leafy greens with the fresh organic. It should also be organic if you're consuming a concentrated amount of nutrients from vegetables and fruits through the form of juicing. It becomes even more important to get organic. And plus, if you're sick, you don't need to load up your body with more toxins, okay, that are found in conventional fruits and vegetables. Now, I know the organic movement is not perfect. It has its flaws, but it's organic labeled is still going to be better than non-organic labeled, unless you can buy fresh fruits and vegetables from a farmer's market and from a farmer and a gardener that you trust. So that's one really good thing that you can you can drink for more nutrients than just the teas. If my family wants something more, even more to eat, or they just want something different, another thing that we'll do is I will make fresh homemade chicken soup, and it doesn't have to have a lot of meat or even vegetables, but I'll put carrots and I'll put celery and I will put spinach in there. And I don't make them eat a lot of, they don't have to eat the meat, but the broth is really good. And it has to be freshly made chicken broth, not chicken broth that is already prepackaged and you just buy the box of broth and then warm it up. No, I'm talking about real chicken broth that you make from real bones. Anything else that you're not making yourself is probably going to have chemicals that are not wanted and bad kinds of salt. So we use Himalayan pink salt, and if we don't have that, we will use sea salt. I've also used black salt, but we don't use normal table salt or iodized salt or anything like that. Okay, pink salt because it has a lot of really good, important minerals that are also necessary when you're sick, and or sea salt, which also has, you know, the good array of minerals, not just the isolated salt. So chicken, fresh homemade chicken broth, and so we always have, kosher chicken in the fridge. We eat a lot of chicken soup, so it's a healthy food to eat even if you're not sick. Just chicken broth, and plus the collagen from the bones. It's just so nutritious and healthy. Now, things that we absolutely stay away from. You must stay away from sweets and sugars and junk food. Junk food is like chips and cookies and candy. All of that is going to be very bad for your immune system. Not only do you not need food, but you also don't need all the junk and all the chemicals and all the sugar. Sugar destroys your immune system when you need it. Okay, it greatly weakens your immune system when you need it the most. So stay away from all that. The only kind of sugars that we consume when we're sick is the kind found naturally in fresh fruits and vegetables. That's in a good form because it's in a whole food form, because you're getting it with, if you're consuming the whole fruit, you're getting the fiber also. And that's another thing that we will eat when we're sick, is I'll allow my children, if they want to eat more food, I'll allow them to eat fresh, raw fruits and vegetables, an apple, a banana, some carrots, anything that they will, any fruit or vegetable that they will eat raw is also very good food to eat while you're sick. Now, another important thing to do whenever you're sick of anything is to cleanse, is to do firstly a colon cleanse. And so I take Richard Schultz's #1 pills. I could make the pills myself, but it's just so convenient to just buy it. But for my children, they won't swallow it, and also has some cayenne, so it's very unpleasant for them. So for them, I just have them drink an herbal tea that has cascara sagrada or senna leaf. These are both herbal laxatives, very natural, and it just helps them clean out their bowels, and this is also a good boost for the immune system and an aid for digestion. And we also will consume prunes. Now, when I recommend these things, I don't mean just, drink 1 cup of herbal tea and you're going to get better. No, I'm saying support your body by drinking only those herbal teas until you get better. Fast and only drink these herbal teas, and only take fresh raw juices, and only, consume, this chicken broth with vegetables and not much else. Only do these things. Only or take the hourly vitamin C, and do it and keep doing it until you get better. A lot of people, they take 1 herbal tea, or they'll take 1 vitamin C pill, and they're like, oh, that didn't work. It didn't work. No. That's not how it works. You have to take a heroic dose, as my teacher Richard Schultz used to say. You have to take a heroic dose of the vitamins and the herbs and the teas and the whatever it is that you're taking. Another thing that's very important is to take probiotics. Most people are very lacking in probiotics, and this is also again another detriment to our immune system when we are lacking in probiotics. So we also get, again, high potency probiotics. And what do I mean by high potency? I mean 50 billion or above. And so for myself, it'll be 100 billion. For my smaller children, they'll take maybe just 50 billion. And that would be a daily thing. Okay. While you're sick, but even if you're not sick, we consume probiotics on a daily basis, not only through pill form, but but also through fresh raw yogurt and kombucha. My husband makes some wonderful kombucha. And what else? Kombucha, kefir, sauerkraut, kimchi, and of course these all need to be raw not pasteurized or irradiated, or else it kills off all the good probiotics. Now, another very important thing that I can't emphasize enough is that you have to rest. Just sleeping, just getting tons and tons of helpful sleep is so good for your immune system. It lets your body rest from doing anything and everything else, and again, focus on healing. It's like fasting from stress, fasting from activity. That's what happens when you're sleeping, right? Fasting from work. So you need to fast from digesting, and you also need to fast from work or stress by sleeping. And that goes to the other thing that you need to do, is you need to de-stress. You need to be happy. You need to keep yourself in good spirits. The Bible says that a merry heart does good like a medicine. And that's absolutely true. It's absolutely correct. When you keep yourself in a state of worry and anxiousness and fear, that is also a detriment to your immune system. So you have to be positive, and you have to remember God's in control. He's going to see you through this. You're going to get better. Okay, just support your body. Your body is designed to heal itself, but the problem is that we are very deficient in many things that we should be having. Our fruit and our vegetables should have a lot more vitamin C in it than it does. Our lifestyles should include a lot more outdoor time and vitamin D time than they are today, because of modernization, everything being indoors, and we don't really farm or hunt or gather food anymore, and so we don't get the vitamin D. That's why we're so deficient in vitamin D and vitamin C and minerals. Now, there are other things that you can do that are good, and that you probably should do if you're deficient in various vitamins and minerals. Like zinc is good, and quercetin, and there's a lot of things that you could take. My family takes minerals on a consistent basis, a little bit daily, and then I take an extra dose sometimes because I have a tooth issue, and that's how I keep it at bay. Is I take a lot of minerals. I'm trying to regrow my cavity, the bone that used to be there. So minerals is another very important thing. And I'll give a link to the trace minerals that we take in the blog again. So in the blog notes, the notes at my blog. So I hope this is helpful. Remember, the very most important thing is not to fear. And of course, all those other things, I'm telling you, these are the things that we focus on when my family is sick, when I'm sick, even when one of my little babies is sick, even my 3-year-old, I'll give her a little chewable vitamin C tablet. I'll give them a little cup of fresh, raw vegetable and fruit juice to drink, and they drink it up because they grew up that way. They grew up with very good habits. Okay, so don't fear. God's in control. He holds your life in His hands. And just support your body, your fearfully and wonderfully made body, in healing itself the way it was designed to do. Get rid of all the toxins, especially while you're sick, all the sugars, all the desserts, all the chemicals, all of that. Shalom. Would you like to become the healer of your home and your community and create a profitable online health coaching business? Are you interested in becoming a health coach, a naturopath, an herbalist, or a nutritionist? Do you need help finding the right program for studying holistic health and healing? Or perhaps you already have certification, but you're still not confident enough in healing people and don't know how to build a business that will empower you to have an impact and allow you to leave your regular day job. Are you ready to get a deep and comprehensive picture of holistic health and healing and learn from top healers in our day so that you can stop being stuck in a job or a career you don't have a passion for? Heal yourself and others without the need for pharmaceutical drugs with harmful side effects, doctors, or even dentists. Become more knowledgeable about holistic health and healing than most medical doctors who have graduated from medical school. without spending hundreds of thousands of dollars and years of time in expensive medical schools or programs. Build a health coaching business that will allow you to work from home and achieve time, location, and financial freedom. Aruka.com empowers people to become the healers of their home and their community by equipping them with naturopathic herbalism, health coaching, and online business and marketing skills. My name is Maim. I'm 42 years old and a homeschool mom of 7 beautiful children. These 2 in the photo are my October babies. I became a naturopathic herbalist and health coach in order to take charge of my family's health when the modern medical system kept failing us. We were spending thousands of dollars on insurance and other medical expenses, but they did not have any answers for our health problems. Working from home has been such a blessing for us. I used to work at the NASA Ames Research Center as a computer scientist/engineer. But being able to have an online business has enabled me to surpass my income at NASA and to be there for my family, homeschool them, take care of them, watch them grow up every step of the way for 18 years now. I started Aruka.com in 2009 to help people become healthy and heal themselves. I've coached all sorts of people, and eventually even medical doctors and nurses started coming to me repeatedly for help for various health issues for themselves or their loved ones. I help people heal themselves of serious diseases such as cancer, heart disease, and high blood pressure, diabetes, as well as other common issues such as hormone imbalances, abnormal bleeding, migraines, eczema, kidney stones, gallstones, cataracts, and even urinary tract infection. Various people began asking me to start teaching what I know about holistic health and healing, including 2 medical doctors who have become very good friends of mine. When I realized that there was such a demand for the knowledge I have that even medical doctors were telling me to teach, I shifted the focus of Aruka.com, and now we teach people how to become confident healers through our naturopathic herbalist and health coach certification program. We help people become healers of their home and community and create profitable online health coaching businesses. If you're interested in becoming a holistic healer, please visit our website, aruka.com, ARUKAH.com. Again, that's ARUKAH.com. Hope to see you there.